Blind leading the blind.
Leading the blind. Blind leading the blind.
Blind leading the blind. I'm a blind oracle. I'm here with Reba. I'm here with Eric, Kevin, Marja, Lexa. This is Corel. Deborah Lee, Daniel, Christy, John, Shaston, and Kate is my guest today. We are BYOB. Did you bring a blindfold?
I brought a blindfold.
A beautiful blindfold. Would you blind yourself, please?
Oh, here we go. Winter accessories and blindfolds is tricky. Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
you nailed it though. I have your coffee.
Oh man, okay.
Do you have your coffee? Do you have a ginger beer for you? Yes. Okay, yep. And then you want to link arms with me on this side?
Okay.
Yeah, all right, so we're gonna just start walking. The next thing I want to look at is hierarchy. We're on a schedule here. A hierarchy of time. So let's get to this mythical thing. Hierarchy is so fundamentally part of the fabric of my experience. Ugh.
I don't suffer from that. I never think about hierarchy.
There is a human desire to put an answer to the unknown, right? Or to organize the unknown as best possible.
Maybe hierarchy is the grid of civilization.
Build a grid to have an answer to the unanswerable.
The Matrix?
Yes.
Are we living in the Matrix?
Basically.
As far as like the social structure of power and like hierarchy and stuff like that, that's something that's probably not so positive.
I think hierarchy and civilization are closely tied. And you know what? It would be hierarchical for me to say that hierarchy is bad.
I'm trying to think of like a hierarchical thing that is absolutely true. Just to try and like test that theory.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I think we as a culture are so focused on hierarchy, and it's always so tied to productivity and affluence and money.
It's easy to look at Wall Street and just be like, man, those dudes out there, they just need money. I don't have that much money, so I'm used to not having it, but if you took away certain things, I would be like, who am I? Like artistic expression, you can still be bound to that the same way you could be bound to money.
Well, it's like a no-win, zero-sum game. Hierarchy.
Well, I feel like there's no point. Yeah, no, it is. But what is the end game of hierarchy? Just to like make sure everybody has a place?
Well, I think there isn't one. I think it's self-perpetuating. All different faces of the same many-faced man.
Yeah.
What?
The many-faced man. You know, he knocks at the window.
He shows you one of his faces.
And if he shows you 6 faces, then he takes you to his kingdom.
And you never come home.
No, but why would you want to?
Because true. There's no hierarchy in the many-faced kingdom.
I just think that the hierarchy is a structure. And structure can be enjoyable too. It's like the rules of a game. Rules are this agreement between the two people playing. It's a set of limits, of boundaries, and I think limitations are what make a game, basically.
I used to go out a lot with my friend Paul and Chris. And Chris is a model. He's been in a lot of movies. He looks like a more muscular Robert Pattinson.
Heyo.
We would all just like go out and like hit on girls and talk to girls.
Yeah.
And be like, let's go.
You were hitting on girls.
We're hitting on girls. He's one of the only people I know that like girls like gulp when they see him in a real way. I'm confident in like how I look, but I'm not as good looking as him, obviously.
Yeah.
And I would like get a little more validation out of like if they paid attention to me because of my humor. If someone said you're
ice. Sorry.
Ice,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah, almost one more. This is less intense.
All right, that's easy.
And we're through. I guess one thing that I've been thinking about a lot is like the difference between preference and judgment. There's like this subtle distinction of being able to compare and choose what you prefer, but then not using that power in a self-harming, self-enslaving kind of way of like, I've got to succeed versus I could fail.
Judgment is a tool of agency, but when...
You sound like a professor.
Judgment is a tool of agency.
It is, though.
I love it. No, you're absolutely right. Funny because it's true.
It's a survival tool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. That's even more impeccable for me.
Should I eat this berry? It implies a judgment value. A value judgment? Judgment value? It implies a judgment.
Well, there are some berries that'll kill you and some berries that'll nourish you. And how do you discern the nourishing berry from the deadly berry?
Yeah. Oral histories. That's how. Was that a rhetorical question?
Oral histories.
Mama told me the one with the round leaves is the one for eating. to discern is to survive sometimes.
When the rent check comes, money is better than not money. Like when rent is due.
Well, that's the other thing too, is like you don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater necessarily. You can still engage in, comparison in a really useful way without making it the end all be all of your self-worth and your happiness and the basis of your freedom and blah blah blah.
I do think that the nature of a hierarchy, the culture, comes from this idea that hierarchy is necessary for productivity as a culture, for forward motion, for evolution, for discovery. Because if you don't have something to aspire to, why would you ever continue to work hard to try and learn, to try and expand? I believe that because humans are inherently good, because they want what's best for their community on the global scale, they will be productive for that, not because they're hoping that they can be at the top of the food chain one day. And I think those that are hoping to be at the top of the food chain are not usually the ones who are actually caring about humanity. They're the ones who are like running pharmaceutical companies and charging $700 a pill for HIV medication.
In practical terms, we are immersed in a hierarchy. We can't avoid it. It's all around us. There is, I guess, the cabin in the woods. There's the cabin in the woods option.
Existing in the hierarchy, the blueprint, the matrix, whatever you want to call it, is creating within it. We are not living in cabins in the woods. Maybe a cabin. Maybe we're not sharing a cabin because we enjoy, at least some element of this. We must, because we're here.
You were talking about freedom earlier. Is being enslaved physically, mentally, in any way, better than being free? I think we'd say being free is better. So it's like there is, but then what is freedom? That's
if I may offer my own personal point of view on that, we are so free we can choose bondage.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
Because this is a really touchy subject because I know a lot of people do not see a path to their own freedom. They do not think they have the choices that they're entitled to have. And I would love a world where people more easily felt empowered to make whatever choice they wanted to make when they wanted to make it. However, I think that no matter what context you're in, you always have some choice, even if it's not the choice you think you should have. I just don't see anyone as powerless, even if they may appear that way. And I might want to pity them or want to feel like their life is less good than mine or less desirable than mine. I can't know that. I just don't have the perspective to know that. You can try and impose your idea.
Maybe we should just refrain from trying to just say exactly what it is and stop trying to put a judgment on it. Even as small as like a food choice. Why do I feel a need to say this is a bad choice or this is a good choice?
Yeah.
It's just, a choice.
It's not easy.
It's really difficult.
I've been practicing the whole good and bad thing my entire life.
I made a quote unquote bad choice last night. I may have ordered a cheeseburger and fries at 11 o'clock at night and had some fish food and Jerry's ice cream. But you know what? It felt pretty damn good at the time. And I was like, oh man, that was bad. I was like, was it? Because it was great. It was great.
Yeah, I support you in that 100%. That sounds like a great decision.
I hadn't had a cheeseburger in weeks. It was good.
Oh, sweetheart, you got to keep your cheeseburger quota up. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Are you ready to stop and have your eyes back? Are you ready to have your eyes back? It's going to be bright.
Oh, I bet, because it's snowy.
Do you want me to hold your coffee?
No, I think I can do it.
Oh, wow, okay.
Oh, man.
We'll just pull it up.
Oh, it's bright.
Woo! Woo! Yeah.
Oh my God,
it's bright out here.
It's a bright
It's bright
day.
out here.
I missed my eyeballs.
Oh, it's so pretty.
So beautiful out there.
Thank you so much.
Blind, they were blind,
Mwah.
leading the blind. Oh yes, they were blind, leading the blind. Ba-dum-bum.